Are you gonna Fortnite me? Is that what your plan is? Are you trying to Fortnite me? Oh, you Fortnite me too. What's up, guys? So, we're back from camping, and we gotta go over the damage. The damage and the carnage on my truck. So, babe, did you notice anything with my steering wheel the entire time we were driving back?
Yeah, it was squeaking the whole time.
It was squeaking the whole time, and it's actually pointing a little to the left. So my alignment is out of whack. When I started looking underneath the truck to figure out, what was making all the noise and all that, I don't know. Let's see. All this needs to be cleaned up now, but this assembly down here is loose. So something I didn't upgrade on my truck when I did, and keep in mind, I had all this stuff done in like 2014, and I haven't really messed with it besides normal maintenance. I never did the tie rods or any of that stuff associated with it because it was never an issue. I wasn't off-roading my truck then. It was just basically a tow pig. But now that my truck has been, our fifth wheel's been put away in storage, so we really don't use it that much, and we mostly tent camp now. So now I've come to that point to where I have to upgrade those parts. And yes, it sucks. So I'm gonna contact Cognito. They're the ones that did my lift, and beef up that front end, get it to where it's just as strong as the rest of the truck. Oh, and my airbags were doing something weird too. But in all honesty, I think it might be a user error. But I got my airbags when we're like parked and camping. I have it on like 8 pounds because you don't need any weight back there when everything's out of the truck. But when we're going down the freeway while I'm cruising, this might sound crazy, I run about 60 pounds of air in the back of my truck because if not, it's a little squishy when we have the truck tent on top and whatnot. So first and foremost, we're going to get all this camping gear put away. And then we're going to go over the damage in the truck and also the damage to the tent, which it's not really damage, it's just a lot of loose bolts, but we'll go over that. So this shouldn't take long. And like that, the garage is cleaner than what it was before. Camping stuff that was right here is now put away. So the next step is, I don't want to wash the truck in my driveway and get my driveway all dirty because there is a lot of dirt and grime and other stuff all over the truck. This is just the bed of the truck. And I know once I rinse this truck off and just kind of clean, that's going to be in the driveway, and then I'll have to clean the driveway next. The rims are pretty dirty too, but it's not that bad. Like I've taken this truck mudding, so I've had it way dirtier than this before. But yep, we're going to run to the car wash and give this thing a nice little wash off, because that way I can look at the components a little bit better and better assess if there's any additional things that I need to get upgraded while we got the truck taken apart. And yeah, so let me grab my keys and some shoes and throw on some pants because I'm wearing gym shorts right now. And I'll get back with you in a minute. So as we're loading the kids up, I opened my door to my truck and my amp step came out. And I remember, with all the ice and cold, I did have an issue with the steps. They were fully retracting And it was just on the driver's side. The passenger side was fine. But on this side, it was fully retracting, but not retracting? Is it the same thing? I don't know. Anyway, someone help me out there. But yeah, the step was like coming out and it was getting stuck like halfway. And when I would close the door, it'd only go back up like halfway. So it would come out flat to where I could step in the truck. Just closing the door wasn't closing all the way back up. So the remedy for that was I stopped $12 for this tiny bottle of WD-40 because this step thing was like really irritating me. And on their website, it was just to be lubricate that section and that part right there. And basically, it freed up whatever dust, grime, whatever was in there to let it go up. And as soon as I did it, it closed up all the way. It was pretty cool. But yeah, my fuel filter, I did get a little bit of water in the separator. But again, that's what I got it for, to keep that from going into the motor, because I got a lot tied up in the motor. And yeah, right now, if you notice my wheels, they are straight, like straight. But if you come and look at them from the front, and I'll have to get way out here, you can notice the driver's side is I don't know, what's that camber that those weird dudes got to do to their car? It's kind of got that going on the driver's side. So something definitely is not happy under there, but I'm gonna get all that tightened up. Like, this is my my fun truck, and when I want to use it, I expect it to be 100% ready to go every time I fire it up. So that is airbags, putting it back to where it was. The other sound you hear is the lift pump, and that's the truck firing up right there. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like this truck. Now, I do have a question. Do you know what I don't like about this drink, babe? And I'm talking about this drink right here. If there's one thing I could change about this drink,
So you can get to the bottom of it?
not only that, I would make the hole that you drink out of, like right here, bigger. So all the like jelly stuff can come out.
I want some.
Where's yours?
You finished it, or you left it on the porch? You finished it, huh? All right, buckle up, buddy. We're getting ready to go. So, we're gonna head to the car wash, get this thing rinsed off and cleaned up a little bit, and then figure out what we gotta do for repairs, because there was carnage. Oh, another cool thing. I have a Titan extended range fuel tank on this truck. All in all, we did about 900 miles round trip on this trip. Don't ask me how, just know that's what we did. But we have 20% fuel left, which equates to like another 200 miles of range left. So that's another cool thing about with all the mods I did to this truck. I had long haul on the mind when I put that on here, like tired stopping to get fuel, tired paying like a lot for fuel when you go places, and it helps me when I'm traveling to Texas to get to some of the spots where I know the fuel's cheaper. I could just go straight there and fill up instead of having to fill up along the way. Going to Texas, I only have to fill this truck up twice, and that's pretty good from San Diego to Houston. But yep, I'm gonna let my wife hit y'all with some B-roll. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm going straight down the road, and my steering wheel is facing left. If you don't know it, that's a telltale sign that your alignment is a little out. You should probably get your alignment checked, because mine's is definitely out. It still tracks pretty straight though. And here we are at the local car wash, and my spot's open. It's like he knew I was coming. So we've made it home. We just got done washing the truck off, and after washing the truck, I realized that I can probably just get an alignment and an adjustment on the front end, and I think it's fine. But I'm gonna go ahead and order the beefier parts, just so it's a component failure that I don't have to worry about. And it's actually like a really common, like the tie rods and stuff is like a common issue on GMC trucks, but I'm gonna have that taken care of because the peace of mind is it's totally worth it. So the next part is our tent, and I'm going to show you what I had to do on the road because we had some bolt loosening issues. Every one of these bolts on this last trip came loose, and this entire tent was essentially like popping off. This side did okay, but not as good as we'd want it to be. So lucky for me, when it happened, all the bolts fell into the bed of the truck, and once we moved our luggage and like all this camping gear and stuff around, I was able to locate what we thought was just going to be 2 bolts. It ended up being like 5 bolts that were in the bed of the truck. So lucky for me, I brought all my tools. I reinserted all the nuts and bolts and tightened everything back down. But then once I started messing with the with that, I started to notice that the bolts on the inside of the tent that attach it to the base were actually loose, and those were like factory bolts. So what they did on that was they just put in bolts with a little plastic lock washer on it. And I feel like for the amount that we paid for this tent, that it should have had at least some form of Loctite on it, because I had to go through and tighten up, and I kid you not, about 30 bolts because it was really, really loose. So that was that part. The next part that we're about to do right now is there's this part of camping that no one really told us about. We just had to experience it, and then once we Googled it, we found out that it was a big deal. And it is moisture in your tent. There's no real way to avoid it, especially when it's snowing outside and sleeting, because your body generates heat. And it got to a point where I was looking on the internet and it said, yeah, as long as you're breathing in your tent, you're going to create that moisture on the top. The second night wasn't as bad as the first night. The first night, because it was colder, we I guess we breathed harder, and my wife had a little water bottle, or I don't know, it's like a little rubber bag with the hot water in it. Anyway, she was using that to like keep her and my daughter warm in their sleeping bag, and me and my son just slept in our sleeping bag just fine. And that little bit of heat, I think, made it that much more noticeable. But the next night when it snowed, it wasn't as cold, so the moisture wasn't that bad. Helped me make it make sense. But now what I need to do is open up that entire tent, pull out the mattress so it can dry out properly, since we got a nice sunny day, and basically clean the inside of the tent to make sure it's ready for the next go round. Now this does suck because we have to pull all that out, set everything up, and then put it all away. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's just one of those things that you have to do. It's just a part of camping. So with no further ado, we're going to get to it. that wasn't too bad. So we got the tent set up. We opted not to extend all the windows out because there's no, it's not as, there's no moisture in it that we thought it would be. It was just the mattress was a little damp in spots. So we laid it out here in the sun. Let that get a little bit of that positive radiation from the sun to kind of dry it out and kind of clean it up. And then with the tent set up, we'll let it like get completely aired out. And we thought while we're at it, we're going to leave the, take all the blankets and stuff out and get those washed up. Kind of get our sleeping bags cleaned up. And that way when we put it all back in there, it'll be ready to go. And I guess that's worth noting that the thing I like about this tent is if you arrange your sleeping bag, blankets, and pillows all, let's say like if you have it to where your ladder is coming out on the passenger side, if you can align all your stuff square on the driver's side of that tent where the two halves flip, when you flip your mattress over, you're able to secure the tent and everything without having to remove your sleeping bag every time. So that's like another cool thing I like about the tent is that like when we go camping, all of our camping gear, or like tents, pillows, like everything, like, I mean not tents, blankets, pillows, sleeping bags, it's already in the tent. So it's basically one complete unit. The extra blankets and pillows that we have those in a plastic tote, and it just kind of helps with the setup, you know, like just knowing like everything's there, so you're not like, oh, did I forget this or did I forget that? It's like, no, it's already in the tent, and it's nothing to worry about. So now that's set up, that'll get done. It took about, I'm gonna say 10 minutes to set that up. And it's so much better when you're setting it up at home and the kids are in the house playing video games or doing something else not bothering you the entire time that you're trying to like set up the tent. So that was pretty quick how that goes up. But we got some other chores to do, errands to run, and people to see. So that'll be it for today's video, and we'll catch you on the next one.